welcome and salutations, respected sadhakas. Receive my congratulations and gratitudes. Prayers intense that our life becomes fruitful by the fruitfulness of every of our sittings and gatherings and togethernesses. 12 Vyaktitvas, Lokasevaka, Dharmasthavaka, Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Jignasu, Mokshu, Shrotru, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Shanta, Gambhira, Yukta. The most beautiful 6 blessings for us, if we know how to tune to them, are the Parabrahma Tattva, the Ishvara Tattva, the Shakti Tattva, the Devata Ganas, the Guru Gana, and the Shastra Gana. Any other if you want to add, you can. But this appears to be a complete list. We have remembered like every day. Now, Shwethashwathara Upanishad, Krishna Yajurvediya, Prathama Adhyaya, Sambandha Bhashyam. After all the questionings by disciple or Purvapakshi, not satisfying only by answering his question. The Siddhanti Bhagavan Adi Shankara, for everybody's permanent reference, he brings all quotations from other Shrutis, Smritis, Purana, Ityadi, so that at one place all data is there to sort out all such questions. And the question of all questions, answer of all answers. Question of all questions is how to get moksha. Answer of all answers is only by abiding in the self. Who guides us in the avoidance of self is only Shruti Mata. Because we cannot study Shruti by ourselves, we need the Guru. The moment we approach someone other than us called as Guru. And from him also we are studying the Brahma Atma Vidya, which is not a subject matter of any upadhis, other than having faith in that Guru and the words. We can have no choice. Faith in his words of existence of the self, faith in the words, his words of nature of the self, faith in his words of the place of ability of the self, and faith in his words of how to approach that self, and faith in his words of most important, which we neglect, the first one, because of which all get neglected. The first one is faith in his words of qualification, yogyata. है ना, अयोग्य को दिया नहीं जाता, दिए तो भी वो लेता नहीं हो. योग्य को दिया जाता है, नहीं दिए तो भी वो लेता है. Somehow or the other. The Nachiketas and all are the yogya. नहीं दिया उनको. In the beginning, the self-knowledge. It was denied by the Guru. Something else, some alternative was put in front. Because he is yogya, he made Yavaraja give him that Brahma Vidya. So, in the yogyata, in the sadhana, in the upalabdhisthana, and in the nature of the self, but firstly, in the existence of the self, along with the obtaining of the self alone is moksha hetu. These are the 6 main things spoken by Shruti Mata, and Shruti's words only. Guru speaks, he is the spokesperson of the Shruti Mata. We need to have faith in them. Having faith on them, then we have to work on them. Working on them is sadhana. But having faith on them is the beginning of sadhana. At no period of time we can leave that faith or miss that faith. Then the whole gadbad starts. We can't again come back onto the path when the faith goes away. So, Shwethashwathara Upanishad, Linga Purana quotations, one or two shlokas are there. Then what is said in Parasara Smriti, that also we see. Then some other question to answer starts for some more 10 or 12 pages. The Sambandha Bhashya is there. Then we enter into actual mantras of first chapter onwards. Kinkaranam Brahma Kutasma Jata Jivamakena Kvacha Sampratishta. All that. So, as ever, before that, Sankalpa Prarthana, before that, our 5 minutes of discussion, spiritual discussion, or a thought, a common sense thought. And the common sense thought here, today, whether it is in the world or in spiritual life, when we are not in a stage of awakening, when we are in the stage of slumber and stupor, there nothing appears to be achievable or to be achieved. Therefore, there nothing appears to be done. Therefore, there is nothing called as a problem or difficulty. Like the children of the age of 13, 14. There is nothing or problem or difficulty because they don't have anything taken as the goal or any duty. But only when one comes out of that laziness, looks at the vast world, looks at others, then maybe it is a desire seeing them. When it comes in him, then if he wants to fulfill that desire, then till that is fulfilled, he will have to go through all difficulties, challenges and efforts. Same in spirituality also. When we don't have spiritual information, vision at all, spirituality is never a trouble or challenge. लाइक आपको बद्रीनाथ जाना ही नहीं है तो फिर वो चैलेंज ही नहीं है आपको कैलाश मानसरोवर जाना ही नहीं है वो कोई थॉट ही नहीं होगा there's no difficulty only when you have to go then all the difficulties problems preparations challenges clear then what if we really want to achieve the goal and if this is the only way we have to go through then we have to go through. Like if I want to climb the snow-clad mountains there, then I have to be prepared that it will be very cold, it will be very steep. Then I have to prepare myself and try. If not, then don't have that goal. And where spirituality का एक बार गोल ले लिया आपने, then हर कदम हर सेकंड पे जो है चैलेंजेस होते ही रहते हैं प्रॉब्लम्स होते रहते हैं डिफिकल्टीज होते ही रहते हैं we can only neglect the difficulties if possible otherwise they keep on coming there because the power of maya and delusion again and again it imposes the anatma on the atma vastu makes us get lost in the anatma. So therefore, for a spiritual seeker, the best example if I have to give is like a person fallen in a ditch, let us say, a big well sort of thing. Not a very thin well like a bore well, but proper well. And inside that, let us say, there are some poisonous 1 or 2 snakes. Zyada mat lagao. Then nobody is there around him to listen to his shout or pleading and to give him some rasya or kuch upar se to pull him out. Now imagine what is the condition of him. Same as is the condition of every of us. जहाँ है वहाँ सांप की तरह सारे सिचुएशंस भीतर बाहर के काटते रहते और जहाँ जाना है we are in that steep well that the height is so much that you have to climb it also a dream only. But then somehow if somebody has that strongest ambition, he will make his way in different ways taking his own time coming out of that well. That is a real seeker, not ambitious. The other one, dukkhi, frustrated and all, succumbs to those poisonous snakes inside of those whatever they are, or he himself just loses hope and allows to die one day. No, a spiritual seeker का भी ऐसे ही होते हैं. So he'll have to be on boots all the time, like the army person. They have to be always on the boots and uniform, ready with the rifles and all. But at the same time, it is always an option. अब नहीं करना है तो कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं करेगा. तो करने का जो डिफिकल्टी होते हैं उसी तरह नहीं करने का फिर कामयाबी होते हैं. Like I work hard, then I get money. So if I am not working hard, not getting money, then I will have to suffer the poverty also. Like that. So that mental preparation and making ourselves rock solid, from within. स्टोन की तरह पत्थर दिल हमको बनाना पड़ता है. सेंटिमेंटल इमोशनल छोड़कर ये साधना काल में है ना. All problems and difficulties, we have to learn to take them as the necessary challenges. All these challenges, we have to understand them to be the opportunities. All these opportunities, we have to consider that this is how the Lord's blessings come. If we don't mold our mind, intellect in this way, even slightest sadhanas also we can't do and forget about spiritual growth. Samsara continues. Your punya papa karma and accordingly the sukha dukkha various phala, they in random keep on coming and going. Like in one day's our schedule of morning to evening. So you spoke lovingly to your wife or husband or children, they also give a proper coffee, tea without adding salt in it, chini dal ke dete. You become angry then, they will make something else or they will react to it. So पुण्य का फल सुख, पाप का फल दुख, ये लगातार लगे रहता. That goes on. That one can do. But then spiritual challenge is different. Spiritual tasks are different. This unhesitatingly we have to discuss about, because we, as you and I, the speaker and spoken, from last 5 years, we are doing. 5 years is a big time of a life. 4.5 years, 1.5 साल. So we को start किया, 21, 22, 23, 4.5 साल, 1 महीना हो गया. So are we not seeing it? How much it is difficult, challenging. Then the difficulties, challenges, as we are encountering, to face them, the attitudes, the intentions, the preparednesses, the courages, the confidences, the abilities to do sacrifices. So these are the weaponry we have to gather. This is the time. Or leave spirituality and go back to worldliness. Nobody will stop us. You can do your punya papa and all. और करना है तो अब आपको जब आगे बढ़ना है, जब बंदा जब नदियां समुद्र पार कर रहा हो या घना जंगल पार कर रहा हो, तो भी कुछ देर जाके देखेगा वेरी टफ है, तो कम बैक. नहीं आगे बढ़ना है तो then be strong in mental preparedness. When you have to climb mountains, people, when they want to go to that Kailas Yatra, so up to a certain distance they go. After that, it's so tough and challenging. Especially the parikrama. Up to Mansarovar you can go. दूर से देखो शिव जी को. परिक्रमा करना है तो then you have to roll up your sleeves and tighten your belts and then totally different mental makeup. Lack of oxygen they even die also. We have to be ready. Just like the army, air force, defense people. They are prepared in the mind. Otherwise, every day in India, कोई गधे terrorist लोग आते रहते हैं. This army person have to be there कहाँ से कौन सी गोली आके लगे नहीं पता, but they are that way made their minds. For many lives, देश के लिए मैं तैयार हूँ कुर्बान के लिए. That sort of people only opt for it. The बुज़दिल fellows like you and I, अपना business करके ऐश आराम करेंगे. We love our life. They love the nation more than the life. Therefore, they are ready. If they are not ready, they have any fears in the mind. They cannot be fears in their work. See that army people's challenging when they run towards the targets or into the places of terrorists. अब आप देखो, उनके मन में मैं मरूंगा ये होता ही नहीं, उसको मारूंगा. In the same way, a high level seeker is not worried about his inabilities or difficulties. He is concerned about, I will be able to do that. Shifting the attention from our weaknesses to the thing to be done is a great achievement. Only such people can really do and achieve. थोड़ा अलग ही मेटल बनता है. So we are seeing all of that. We have to accept them. Not that the worldly life is easier and smoother. No. उसमें ना बहुत alternatives होते हैं. Like you have struggled with your wife, the children will console you. With children है तो brothers will console you. कोई ना कोई होते हैं वहाँ आपको. Isn't it? And वहाँ sometimes things move smoothly also. यहाँ ऐसा नहीं होता. हर क्षण challenge है. Prepare mentally. That is the idea. And few of the things we have to be very serious about in our spirituality. Few things we will see, 4 or 5 simple ones. One is what? From the guna standpoint. If we are not doing the sattva guni things and not creating and maintaining sattva guna, not once a moment, as continuously as possible, then inevitably the rajoguna consumes us. It is no way. Therefore, like the deer and all those animals, try to escape from the lion or tiger's chase. We have to escape from rajoguna's jaws and clutches in trying to do the things to remain in sattva. Same way, if we are not continuously, constantly monitoring and maintaining the rajoguna, then the tamoguna consumes us. Tamoguna is like python only. वो तो जिंदा हमको खा लेता है. You know, गया अंदर वो मुर्दा. You have seen that last 10 days, 2-3 cases. The huge python of 20 meters has consumed that lady. 2 दिन दिखी नहीं वो कहाँ गए. So then that word python, its stomach is very weak, bulging. Then the villagers thought, काट के देखा तो that lady was मर गई है. The tamoguna, like a python, consumes us in the means we are living death after that. In worldly things also, tamoguna is living death, spirituality maybe. Yes, and how tough it is to lift ourselves out of tamas and come to raja and maintain it. कितना प्राण शक्ति चाहिए, कितना लगातार मेहनत. नहीं किया तो चले गए तमस में, फिर रजस में रहो, but that is not our goal. Ours is to go to sattva. If not this rajoguna, you can see now when we are in our japa and puja, how many jaga daud raha hai hamara mind rajoguna. Either it is running in rajas or sleeping. अपना ही बात हम कह रहे हैं. We are the examples. This is a challenge, isn't it? In the same way, if we are not struggling to become antarmukha, very big struggle it is, challenge, then we will be forced and pulled to be bahirmukha. But do we have the understanding about the need of becoming antarmukha and know that the Paramatma is obtained only when we become introverted? If these two are not there, my goal is Paramatma is obtained through being antarmukha, then my antarmukha prayatna will not be very stronger. Then I will always be bahirmukha. We are like that now. क्लास में तो आते हैं, but then बैठ के अंतर्मुख हो जाओ. Where have we become? अंतर्मुख बनना मतलब studying our faculties, seeing their limitations, setting them right, going beyond them and all. नहीं, ये बड़ा चैलेंज है, होता नहीं है. वो बाप रे, कितने जन्म जन्म का तपस्या है. Those who are achieving in this life, they have started some 50-60 lives back. In the same way, if we are not aiming at, be attentive. The Nirupadhika Atma inside us, continuously, constantly, then any of these Panchakosha Upadhis that will succumb, catch us, we succumb to them, that will grasp us, that will consume us. देखो, और ये कितना बड़ा युद्ध है बताइए, हो रहा है कि नहीं भाई? Nirupadhika Atma Drishti, if we don't have, then the Upadhi is forcing us to identify with them. Like शादी कर ली, बच्चे हो गए, तो you are forced to take care of them, to endure their nonsense, to fulfill their all the demands, etc. You can't be. In the same way, if the Nirupadhika Atma we are not aiming at, then the Upadhis will consume us. In the same way, like there's so many things. If we are not having our prema bhakti consciously developed to our Bhagavan or the Guru, inevitably the ability in us of attachment makes us get attached to the things and beings. Then the wrath and the misery of getting attached to things and beings, we know it. But to get out of those clutches and hang on to the Ishvara through various upasana paddhatis, how challenging it is. But the one who says that ये मुझे करना ही है because he understands that it is necessary, then he won't see that miserable dukkha in doing them. Rather, he just gets inspired to take a chance and try. A little higher level person takes it as a challenge. Little higher one says it is an opportunity. The most matured one says this is what is the blessing. In the same way, whatever we possess, have, if we don't offer it to the Lord, then towards those things we develop the mamata. And we know once we have something or being as mama, how we become possessive about it. How because of that we look at others as enemies who have the eye on that. And that challenge of the maintaining of the mind at that level, how dukkha it is. Everywhere like that. If I am not challenging myself to follow the dharma, the adharma will consume me. And if I don't study my shastras, then I am forced to study something else. If I don't come to this satsanga, I go to the dussanga. I am not involving in the what you call the gaining and practicing of the positive dharmas, let us say the Devi Sampada, as we are seeing in our youth class, then we are succumbed or we are succumbing to consumed by the Asuri Sampada. क्या हमने दुनिया में अच्छा नहीं किया तो हम बुरे से नहीं बच सकते. ये बड़ा चैलेंज है. For the spiritual seeker mainly, even it is so for other people also. तो सत्संगति नहीं किया तो दुस्संगति हमें खा लेगा. Good food if you are not choosing, you end up in eating the bad food. If good program in television you are not selecting, Then inevitably we select that by which all our mind is destroyed. If good people we don't have as friends, we end up in only a bhogi, kami, vishayi vyakti as our friends. एवरी पहलू में हमको जिंदगी में ये होता है. सो कंसिडरिंग ऑल ऑफ देम इज साधना, नॉट लिविंग एनीथिंग अनअटेंडेड. एवरीथिंग इज प्रेशियस, एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी properly managed. Few list of few things only we gave, but then this is how a spiritual person goes through that suffering pangs when he doesn't know. Now, when you have known now, we have understood to some extent. The pangs of suffering continue, matlab troubles come, but we at least have an information. Then we accept it, aisa hota hai. Then what we can do from our side? That thinking, that understanding, then that struggle to do that. When we consistently apply ourselves, little by little, we succeed in all these things. From tamas through rajas into the sattva, from the bahirmukha to the antarmukha, from the upadita tadatmya to the nirupadhika paramatma tadatmya, from the asakti and preeti to the vastu vyakti jagata to the bhakti to paramatma, from the adharma to the dharma, from negative values to the positive values. All of that, all the time you have to struggle only. Not a smooth path. Now you understand why did they say that it is a razor edges path. These are the challenges, these are the reasons. And the 2-3 things which we every day talk inevitably are our own prarabdha, our own vasanas, our own habits, our own runanubandha. These 4 things also do not spare us. Isn't it? And these funny things called vasanas are what? Unless we are consciously eliminating them, they get added only more and more. कोई भी घर में चीटी वीटी घुस गया मानो, if you don't apply some medicine and send them away, वो अपने आप ही बढ़ते जाते हैं. जो कॉकरोच कहो, कुछ भी कहो. Isn't it? This is how the vasanas. The habits also. बाप रे, इतना मुश्किल होता है वो. The habits of bhoga, no habits of being with the entertaining things, etc. आप वो नहीं छोड़े तो वो फिर स्ट्रांग होते रहते. So do our runanubandha with the people, with full patience when we are not doing our duties towards the people who are sent around us. That runa continues for many, many lives. And you can't avoid, kuch bhi karo, maro bhi, you can't avoid the prarabdha. Very, very painful it is. That's it. अगर in one life साधना करने का ही नहीं मानो प्रारब्ध, लाख कोशिश करो होगा नहीं बस. But that doesn't mean that we should give it up. स्वामी ऐसी बात है तो मेरे लाइफ में नहीं है प्रारब्ध, so I am not doing it. This is not correct. Effort has to be all the time there on. A sadhaka's life is 1,000 times more tougher than a ordinary samsari. क्या है संसारी को? Just work hard, earn little money, enjoy your kamana, die one day. There is no challenge at all there, very less. But when we come to this path, understanding the truth is so difficult, studying the shastras is so difficult, understanding sadhana, देखो हम इतने साल क्या क्या नहीं सुने. But is it clear to us now, our sadhanas क्या है? With the same face again we ask the Guru, Guru Maharaj, मैं क्या करूं? He tells. Again after 1 month we come, Guru Maharaj, मैं क्या करूं? Till Guru Maharaj says, पहले मेरे गला दबा, बाद में अपना. Then the disciple says, Guru Maharaj, आपका जो भी कहना था अब तक पहले जिंदगी में मैंने आधा ही किया, पूरा नहीं किया. मतलब क्या हुआ? आपका गला दबाऊंगा, मैं रहूंगा. मैं क्या करूं वाला? See that moha at that time. See that maya. Earlier when we were in samsara, we were clear what to do. जाओ बस खरीदो और खाओ, वो थक गए सो जाओ. How clear was that idea, isn't it? और साधने में आ जाओ, क्या करो? जब करो. और क्यों करो? नहीं करो, हो गया. एक मिनट. That doubt of what to do, how to do, still remains vague. Well, these are all very sensitive and important things. Wherein, that's what we say, it's only Ishvara Guru Krupa, that gives that intuitive power, which gives us clarity. That at every moment what to do and how to do and what for. The one who knows it, na, kya kare, kyo kare, kaisa kare, he is clear now. We just keep doing that, the progress happens. Like we are doing now, Shastra Adhyanam. Good. But it is not the ultimate, no? After this, the other things of Mananam, holding on to that knowledge of the self, trying to avoid in that, and avoid everything else. अब इन बातों के बारे में क्लैरिटी नहीं है हमको इंटेलेक्चुअल नॉलेज का, इसलिए कन्विक्शन नहीं है, इसलिए अटेम्प्ट नहीं है, देयरफॉर डिफिकल्टी भी नहीं है. You're not trying, they were not difficult. Those who tried, it's a challenge. So, the summary of today's thought is, for anybody and everybody, how much they may be muskuraing outside, spiritual sadhana is a great challenge. Again, depending on at what stage of affairs he is inside. If somebody has already crossed all the distances in earlier life, cakewalk for him in this life. Like Guru ke paas, surrendered, Guru taught, he just caught and he sat and meditated and got. How come, why in 1-2 days, how come Puja Gurudev went to Tapon Maharaj, Shivananda Maharaj, learned from him, got the Diksha, went to the Puja Maharaj. Not that 10 years, 12 years he was with Maharaj. No. He was hardly for a few months only, not even years. Puja Gurudev. Only thereafter, he was in his Tirtha Yatra, then he came on to the plains, then he made the organization, he was working for it. Only few months, etc. used to go. But how come he got it? अब देखो इतने जन्मों का था उनका. And you and I, they go 20-25 साल से, we go to satsang, we go, even one Shukla Bharadram mantra, Guru Brahma mantra, सहना हो तो मंत्र का भी पूरा अर्थ हमको नहीं है हृदय में. So at this level of immaturity or maturity we are. We have to accept it. Like myself, example. Just because some shastras I am talking, because you don't know, doesn't mean that in me all preparations are done and then I am at the highest level of sadhana. I will have my own inner weaknesses, inner, what do you call them as, things to be crossed or preparations to be made, depending on where do I stand. That has nothing to do with what I do outside or even this satsang. Satsanga, why? Though it's Guru Krupa, God's Krupa, anybody can do. That is why I am Atma Pravachanina Labhya Na Medaya Na Bhavna Shruten. So those inner things to be conquered have to be conquered only. है ना, जो भूमिकाओं को जीतना, अंतर्मुख बनना, निरंतर लक्ष्य को याद रखना, वो लक्ष्य रूपी आत्म स्वरूप को याद रखना और बचते रहना. Isn't it? How the outer and inner, whatever you call them, pulling me into the worldliness, उससे बच के ही रहना आपको हमेशा, which is the toughest challenge. It is so. We think that we are with the things and beings around us, इसलिए साधना नहीं हो रहा है. Then we leave them and be alone. That time the inner devil becomes more active to attack us. That is why I am suggesting you never live alone unless you are a deep sadhaka. Else we destroy ourselves. Be with the world, serve the world, in between only keep doing sadhana. And if you really have got that inner deep urge to know the truth, and you are committed within you consciously that through these sadhanas I will achieve my goal, then kick everything, go to that secluded place, जाओ अपना तपस्या लगाओ. Otherwise जेल नहीं पाएंगे अपने आप को. These are all intimate, मतलब some intricacies, some secrecies of everyone, nothing new. More point is what? Our spirituality is like when we are in that valley or well. How to climb, how to come out, utna difficult. Accept it. Keep on doing what is to be done. Aware of that one. Drushti is on doing what is to be done more than the result, not more than on the challenges, etc. बचने के लिए look at those challenges, but see that they don't overpower us. So too, about the reaching the goal, also remember the goal to get inspired, but don't keep any time bondage. Don't compare with others. They have reached to that level. What about me? Without all of that, focus on the process. Keep on moving. देखते देखते एक दिन वो सारे in between stages we keep crossing them. So may Lord give us a complete clear picture of understanding about spiritual sadhana, then may we involve in them with such a clarity, commitment, conviction, consistency that we are enjoying the journey. We are enjoying the journey. When the path is correct, when the goal is ultimate, when we have learned the art of enjoying the journey, mind you, the life is made. You are complete now. It's only a question of some time. Keep moving, we will reach the destination of the inner self. Maybe not succumb to any inner or outer weaknesses and challenges and compromise with our consistencies, whether it is in listening to the satsanga every day, whether it is studying at home, whether doing our bit of sadhanas. Whether the sadhanas are the prakriti upadhi related to master them, control them, or the purusha related sadhanas to abide in the self. हमें ये करते ही रहना है. Oh Lord, other than you, I have no one to help me in this regard. You become the kavacha from outside. You become the strength from inside. You become the inspirer for me from within. And I am reminding you, O Lord, that when Devatas, Asuras were doing Kshirasagara Matha, both of them got tired and exhausted. Now, is it not you who were there as the tortoise, turtle and supported? Is it not you who has put your hand above the mountain from it to stop from flying above? Is it not you who entered all the devatas and gave Shakti? Is it not you who entered all asuras, gave them Shakti? Is it not you who entered the mountain and stopped it from getting broken into pieces? Is it not you who has entered that Vasuki Sarpa and stopped it from getting, broken again into pieces? Even when all of them have tired, exhausted, at that their silent moment, was it not you alone who has done the churning? कर के जो थक गए, भगवान नहीं किया है चरनी. And is it not you who came as a Dhanvantari Bhagavan and gave the Amrita? Is it not you who came as Mohini and protected us or saw to it that the mehnat ka phal humko mile, not to the dushta? So in this type of attitude deeply, when we pray to Paramatma, same time knowing the responsibility, knowing the need of our own Purushartha and do it, then we can avoid the worries. Please remember, worries are never because of not achieving result. Worries are because we are not doing what we are supposed to do. Once we know what to do and doing, nothing to worry. No. Luckily in our second Mumuksha Vivahara Prakarana, at least 7-8 chapters are there based on this Purushakarata or Purusharthata or our effort. Free will कहते हैं उसको. We are going to study it in the evening class. So let us be always reveling in these positive, inspiring thoughts, eye-opening thoughts. Let us be exposed to them all the time. Let us be ready to receive them. Let all our inner obstacles of extrovertedness, bhogavasanas become zero, so that always we are in this mood of taking up the challenges and opportunities, invoking the blessings to do our sadhanas. Like anybody involved, a group of people in any project, like the ISRO, when they have to send a satellite, the whole people of 500 or 600 or 2000 people, all of them are engrossed in that project. Any other project, कोई भी रेलवे वाले लेते हैं तो ट्रैक बनने तक, उसी तरह हमको भी स्पिरिचुअल अनफोल्डमेंट प्रोजेक्ट में let me fully involve in that, O Lord. Let me not be half-hearted in that. Let me not be still in hesitation or doubt and confusion regarding it. ये सारे होते हैं हमको, इसलिए ना गाड़ी आगे बैठती ही नहीं. Isn't it? Some people park the vehicle, ऑन भी नहीं करते. कोई ऑन करते लेकिन गियर डालते ही नहीं. कोई गियर डालते लेकिन वो क्लच छोड़ते नहीं, एक्सीलेटर दबाते नहीं. कोई चलते भी हैं तो एक गियर में ही रहते हैं, बस 2 में नहीं डालते. We have to know in our life also. Anyway, our prayers to God Guru definitely open our eyes for the clear picture. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरम्. ओम करुणावरुणालय पालय मां भवसागर दुःखविदूनहृदं रचयाखिल दर्शन तत्त्वविदं भवशंकर देशिकमे शरणम्. ओम ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम्. एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां पूर्ण आयुरारोग्य शक्ति साधना प्राप्ति द्वारा बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्. अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः शांति मंत्रः. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Atha Sambandha Bhashyam. Friends, the Linga Purana quotations. We are seeing, yesterday we saw Mandukya Karika is quoted. Okay, to explain the Atita Tattvatva of the Turiya Tattva. Means the pure self is beyond all things which we generally experience. So by this mantra, what is that? Nanta pragno bahish pragnaha nacho bhayata evacha na pragnana ghanastvevam na pragno apragna evasaha. By this, the Paramatma Tattva is not Jagrada Avastha, Swapna Avastha, Antarada Avastha, Sushupti Avastha, knowing the world Avastha, nor Jadata. All these possible 6 things are denied in the experience of the self. Self is something beyond. All these are upadhikrata, projected on the self. Now, in the next beautiful little subtler mantras, we started yesterday the contemplation. Vidite nasti vedyam cha nirvanam paramarthatah ajnanatimirat sarvam natra karya vicharana. Okay. Catch this point. 2, 3 salient, subtle things are hidden in this mantra. He says, Vidite nasti vedyam. 2 ways we have to understand this sentence. Vidite nasti vedyam means when the self is known, nothing remains to be known. This is the general sentence, meaning, literal meaning of this sentence. Vidite vedyam nasti. When you know the self, nothing remains to be known. Point 1. Second point is what? When the self is known, nothing remains to be known because there is nothing other than the self. Therefore, vedyam nasti. Third thing is when the self is known, the knowing of the self is not like knowing of anything else. In the sense, when the self is known, the known self is not known as the knower-known relation. विदिते वेद्यम नास्ति मतलब क्या है? आत्मज्ञान जैसे बाहरी जगत का ज्ञाता ज्ञानम ज्ञेयम त्रिपुटी से होता है ना, वो ऐसा नहीं होता. Therefore, the 3 levels of understanding, remember it. Doing something to know the self or gain the self. Doing something to gain the self. No. Then what? Knowing the self to gain the self. Then third level में क्या है? There is not even knowing, it's only being बस. Even being में इंग निकाल दो, just to be. This is the meaning of vidite nasti vedyam. Okay. Second way of seeing is what? In the spirituality, knowing is being, being is realization. जब जान लिया तो पा लिया तो फिर हो चुका. Nothing more. In the world, when we know it, it is not enough. You have to do something to gain that thing. Like I know there is a Brahma Loka. Knowing is not enough. You have to do various upasana yajnas to reach to that Brahma Loka. And anything reached through doing, it will end one day. हमेशा याद रखना इस principle को. Therefore, here the subtlety of this thought is vidite nasti vedya means when the self is known, nothing other than the self exists. Knowing itself is being. Because of being, there is nothing to be done. When there is nothing to be done, there is nothing to go and come. Therefore, there is no limited life of doing, going, coming, etc., which is called samsara. वो नहीं रहेगा. Vidite nasti vedyam. This sentence has these very subtle truths to convey to us. Second is one, nirvanam paramarthataha. Absolutely what is there is the nirvana atma only. This steady, still, all pervading, eternal Paramatma Tattva. No flickering, one without second. As we told, within the ocean, how the water is nirvana. All fishes, everything are moving, but there is no wave formation there. Waves are formed only on the surface of the ocean, which is not even a percent of the ocean. In the same way, nirvanam paramarthata. Just feel the meaning of this sentence. In that Paramatma Anubhuti, there is no movement or motion of the Maya or of the Chitta or of the Antakarna or of the thoughts or of the Jnanendriyas or of the Karmendriya. ये सब निर्वाण हो चुके हैं. ये सब, when you have the outer desires to fulfill, then they become activated, etc. But when the self is gained, ये सारे जो है ना शांत हो जाते हैं. I am that infinite, like the river running. So shanti mapnoti. So vidite nasti vedyam cha nirvanam paramarthataha. Then what we do, see all that now multiplicity जो हम देख रहे हो क्या है? अज्ञान तिमिरात सर्वम. None of these things are there in the pure Paramatma, but because of the timira, the darkness of ajnana, the ignorance of this nature of self, all that is projected. Okay, in this ajnana timirat sarvam sentence, all the known examples we can add. Ajnana of the rope led to the snake, etc. Ajnana of the shell made it to be taken as the silver. Ajnana of the stanu made us feel that there is a chore in him. Isn't it in that? All these examples we can add here. Ajnana timirata sarvam. Very sublime thought. Unless one is exposed to the Vedantic Shravana at least for 6 to 8 years to comprehend this sublime thought, that ability will not be in him. He may know the meaning of the words, grammatic meanings, for a dictionary meaning, but what is said in that sentence, that only Paramatma is there, Nirvana Ropena, in the ignorance of that Paramatma, that all the phenomenal world which we are seeing is projected. The depth of the meaning of this sentence is caught by only the one who has got the Vedanta Shravana Samskara from many years. But in these few sentences only, the ultimate of the truth is conveyed by the Gurus to the disciples. Each of the word, whether it is Vidite Nasti Vedyam, whether it is Nirvanam Paramarthataha, whether it is Ajnana Timida Sarvam, each of them are a complete sentences. There is no ambiguity. Very clear. Like you are India telling to Pakistan, तुम दोस्ती चाहते हो, तुमसे ज़्यादा हम चाहते हैं, but first to stop all terrorism. There is no doubt at all. You eliminate all of them and show to us all the proofs that they are all eliminated. Then you being our neighbor, we know our mutual togetherness will make us prosper. If we come together, we can beat America, China, everyone. But we are very clear from our side. But you yourself are no reason hating Hinduism, you create terrorists. The Hindus are the most loving people in the universe. वो गलती, क्या हमको ये पढ़ा रहे थे, पढ़ो मत, हमारे किताबों में लिखा है, वो गलत किताब है फिर वो. So you have to realize those mistakes. In the same way, Here also, the statements are clear. When you know the self, there is nothing to be known, nothing to be obtained. And that being in the self is the nirvana sukha, the infinite bliss. No limitations because of upadhis, no desire to become unlimited, no struggle to do this or that. That nirvana sukha. Like somebody reached the peak of a mountain. इससे बड़ा कुछ है ही नहीं है, कहीं जाने का नहीं है. Just imagine the relaxation of that person. No, it can be done in your own town also. There's a building of 10 stories, let us say. So दूसरा, तीसरा, चौथा you climb, but still there are. But when you reach the 10th one and the terrace of it, don't you feel that there is nirvana sukha? An example, unflickering joy it is called. Nirvanam paramarthatah. Then whatever we see, one sentence में सारा बता रहे, इस एक सेंटेंस को समझने के लिए पूरा जिंदगी लगता है. What sentence it is? अज्ञान तिमिरात सर्व. Any multiplicity with any of the differences we are seeing other than the Atman are projected because of ajnana. Now, the Natra Karya Vicharana. In this truth, don't have any doubt. इसमें कोई ऐसे विचारणा करो मत, ये तो 100% सत्य बात. तीनों के तीनों सत्य है. Vidite Vedyam Nasti, when the self is known, there is nothing other than the self. And that is Nirvana Sukharupa. And if that self is not known, called as Ajnana, out of that Ajnana projected is Sarva. In all these three sentences, Natra Karya Vicharana, इससे बढ़कर कोई दूसरा नॉलेज नहीं है, इससे अल्टरनेटिव दूसरा नॉलेज नहीं है, इससे हटकर दूसरा सत्य नॉलेज नहीं है, यही अल्टीमेट ट्रुथ नॉलेज. That's the meaning of Atra Vicharana na Karya. Don't have doubt regarding these three sentences. Very, very powerful shloka this one. Huh? Then he says, Jnanancha bandhananchaiva moksho napyatmano dvijaha nahi esha prakrutir jivaha vikrutuscha vikaratah vikaro naiva mayesha sadasad vyakti varjita. Jisati न निरोधो न चोत्पत्ति न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर् न वै मुक्तः इति एषा परमार्थतः. ये जो मांडुक्य उपनिषद का अल्टीमेट श्लोक है ना, इन द वैतथ्य प्रकरण 32nd मंत्र, that is what is being said here. Like in Bhagavan Surya, there is no darkness, there is no covering, there is no upadhis. There are no upadhis, no reflected pratibimba. There are no that pratibimba identifying with the upadhis and suffering the limitations. Do you see anything in this Bhagavan Surya? In the same way, in the pure Paramatma, as he is, all these are kalpita and suffering only we are because of that. Really nahi. Like neither the hood is there, nor the middle portion is there, nor the tail is there, nor the fangs are there, nor the hissing is there, nor poison is there of a snake on the rope. है कि ना, रस्सी पे इसमें से कोई है क्या? Pure rasi never became the rope, snake only. Only not eliminate the snake, not kill it, but just to know the rope as rope. All of them are not. These two mantras talk that sublime truth. We will just study it. What says? Ki jnanam cha, the knowledge. Bandhanam chaiva, the bondage. Therefore moksha, the liberation. Na api atmana dvijaha. Oh my dear Brahmanas, for the self, neither there is bandhana, nor there is a moksha, nor there is a need of jnanam for getting the moksha. उस दृष्टि से कह रहे, after reaching the self दृष्टि, we should know both the दृष्टिस. Realization of the self or liberation is an experience where we experience that we were never bound. We were never the not self. That's relation. मोक्ष क्या होता है? मैं कभी बंधन में था ही नहीं, ऐसा कोई आत्मा है, उससे तादात्म्य करना. Then what is all that? Ajnana Triviral Sarvam. So, Najnana. Najnana means what? You need Jnanam for knowing the Anatma. You don't need the Jnanam to know the Atman. You are that. It is Jnana Atita Anubhava. Yeah, Jnana matlab the Vritti Jnana, the Jnana of an object other than us. Self को ले ज्ञान चाहिए क्या बताओ? It is an अनुभूति ना. That is why any number of people deny us our existence. 1,000 people, but I know I know I am. No, I am conscious, I am experiencing it. How do you know? I am experiencing Baba, which can't be put in words. क्या बढ़िया है. So, ज्ञानंच बंधनम चैव मोक्ष न अभी आत्मनः द्विजाः. हे ब्राह्मण, आत्मा का न बंध है न मोक्ष है, इसलिए बंधन से मोक्ष दिलाने वाला ज्ञान का भी यहाँ जरूरत नहीं. Then he says, नहीं ऐसा प्रकृति ही जीवः. Nor this prakriti called Maya of Trigunas is there in Paramatma. Therefore, there is no Jiva Bhava in him. Paramatma, conditioned by Prakriti, is called Jiva. That Jiva at the Samishti level is called as Ishvara, Vyashti level is called as Jiva, you understand? Nahi hai wo. Na Prakriti, na Jiva. Yeah? Then neither Vikruti, the Prakriti, the Trigunas, they go on getting modified, resulting in the phenomenal world. प्रकृति ही नहीं है और उसका विकृति मीन्स विकार मीन्स मॉडिफिकेशन. प्रकृति में विकार होता रहता है. प्रकृति ही नहीं है, हाउ कैन देयर बी विकृति? फाइनली नैव माया एषा. इन द प्योर परमात्मा, even in the Ananta Maya Shakti also gone into disappearance. It is not at all there, only Paramatma Anubhuti is there. Where is the wave gone in the water? In the glass water also, water is there, na? Kahan gaya wave? It has gone, disappeared. Only water is there. Maya also is like that. So, Naiva Maya Esha. Sadasat Vyakti Varjita. That Maya, which expresses as Sat, that is Stula Sukshma, expresses as Asat unmanifest, that is Karana. So, Karana, Sukshma, Stula, Rupa expressing Maya is not there. Neither Prakriti is there, nor the Vikara is there. Okay? So, Nahyesha Prakriti Jiva Vikrutischa Vikaratha Vikaro Naiva Mayesha Sadasat Vyakti Varjita. These are all the meanings of the word Nirvana. ऊपर बताया ना, Nirvanam Paramarthatah. In the Nirvana sthiti, he and he alone is there. ये सारे नहीं. But this is उस तरफ जाने के बाद. But now we are at this level. So for us, all these words have meaning. We have to understand. We have to cross Prakriti. We have to cross the Maya. We have to cross the multiplicity. ये भाषा हमको use करना पड़ता है to a great extent. And when we are also at the brink of that self, even these things we deny. We just remain in ourselves. Nirvana Atma. There is nothing called as a Maya or Prakriti itself, other than me. When Prakriti नहीं है, तो उसका विकार ही entire जगत है ना? नहीं है जगत में. फिर उस जगत विकार से identified alone are called as the Jivas. Then Jiva Bhavas also are not there. Then the Jiva Bhav नहीं है, तो struggles नहीं है. Struggles are the bondages. There is no bondage. So these little subtler things, to be able to understand them, some more years, patiently we have to listen. The same literature of Upanishad ज्ञान. आज नहीं आया समझ में, तो आने तक हम सुनते सोचते जाएंगे. ये वाला और challenge it should be. Correct? तो तथा भगवान पराशरः. Now the Parashara Rishi, father of Bhagavan Vedavyasa, yes, वेदव्यास जी पिताजी है, वशिष्ठ जी के पौत्र है, शक्ति जी के पुत्र है. ओके, वशिष्ठ, शक्ति, पराशर, वेदव्यास, शुकदेव. 5 generations. व्यासम वशिष्ठरवतारम, शक्ति पौत्रम, पराशर आत्मजम, शुकदाता. So that Vyasa Pita, Parashara Samhita is there. In that Parashara Samhitas, remember, in the Smriti Purana Granthas, mainly the Puranas, Kathas will be there, values will be there, Bhakti will be there, Nirguna Brahma Jnana also will be there. In the pure Upanishads, only Nirguna Brahma Jnana. बस पुराणों में, स्मृति ग्रंथों में, in Purana, Kathas more, but through the Katha, what life to be lived for moksha, that alone is conveyed. In the Smriti Grantha, Kathas are less as a references, but the sadhana is indicated more. Okay, in the Shuddha Vedanta, only Tattva Jnana is told in the Upanishads. So in that Parashara Smriti, Parashar also talked about these things. What did he say? Ta samai maya baddha karoti vidas taroho nachatraivam samsarati nacha samsari param nakarta naiva bhokta cha nacha prakrut bhorshav namaya naiva cha prana cha chaitanyam paramartataha tasman ajnana muloi samsara saradinam. This is from his quotation, which we studied day before yesterday. In that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mantra hai, so tomorrow we'll be able to do it. After that is done, then Mithyatva Prapancha's Mithyatva is taken up for some discussion. Okay. Then we take up the topic of some quotations of Brahma Sutras to talk about the Nirguna Nirvishesha Brahma Tattva as ultimate. For first days, घबराहट होती है even to accept about Nirguna Nirvishesha Brahma, because we are always in Saguna Savishesha all the time. But then when we go on listening, the glory of that will be understood by us. Then we also prepare ourselves to enter into that Nirguna Nirvishesha slowly. I'm just telling these are the topics that are going to come in our subsequent studies from tomorrow. Prepare mentally and come. When we come, listen intellectually and try to grasp as much as possible. Pray for me, pray for you as I do every day, that we are able to maintain regularity, maintain our sincerity, maintain that appetite to listen, maintain that jignasa to understand, maintain those efforts. Thus, grow in learning, grow in practicing, and grow in experiencing. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpणमस्तु. Thank you, friends. Don't miss the classes even one day. Let us make a habit of listening, habit of thinking, habit of contemplating, habit of meditating. This is the only way by which we protect ourselves from our own mind, our own senses, our own sharira and the outer world. If there is any other alternative better than this, you tell me, मैं ये सब छोड़कर आपके पीछे आऊंगा. To get moksha, to get the शाश्वत अनंत सुख. कोई दूसरा तरीका आपने इनोवेट किया तो बताओ. इन्वेंट किया है तो let me come for it. As far as I believe, what our Rishis have found, that is the ultimate, the best. And what is it? Listen regularly, contemplate regularly, meditate regularly, try to be nearer and nearer to the Atmanubhuti for the moksha. If we don't do this, inevitably we end up in doing all that which is opposite to our moksham called as the bandhanam. मोक्ष का प्रयत्न जिस क्षण हम नहीं करते हैं वह अप्रयत्नता से हमारे द्वारा बंधन का कर्म किया जाता है. This is highly sensitive thought we shared. Frightening भी है, but it is a fact.